Today we're going to cover gaining weight, because for a time now we've been covering just losing weight. Yeah, Ozempic here, rice, water and lemon the other direction, food modification and some exercises here and there. And I don't think we've been covering much about those who want to gain weight, either because they are uncomfortable with what they have as weight, or they have a BMI below 18, and that's not a good one. Now, I have 7 strategies. You can use the chapters. I'll provide them. You can use the chapters below here, or you can just watch the whole video, and then when you want to go to the specific chapter next time, when maybe you won't, or maybe you forget about something, you can just come back there to the individual chapter and just watch that. It's fun. Because I've seen people complaining that sometimes you make long videos, but I prefer context because it makes my work even easier. It reduces so many questions I usually get if I don't give complete information. Anyway, 7 strategies. You can use the chapters to navigate to individual ones. But let's just first of all go to the first one. And this one, I'll just make it more practical for you. The first thing you have to know is food or dietary adjustments can go a long way into making you gain weight. And this one, let's just be a little bit more practical. Just go to your computer or your smartphone, and on the address bar, make sure the internet is on, of course, type calculator.net, and this is where you have several calculators. Just ignore everything else. Just go to fitness and health calculators, go to BMI and calorie. We start with the BMI because we want to know whether you are underweight or you are overweight. Now the first thing here, just change this through metric because I'm in Kenya and I would want to use the metrics. If you want to use the US units, the pounds and such, you can use the other one. But I want to use the metrics one. I'll use just an arbitrary figure, that is 6, and the gender for this lady is female, and let's use 170 as the height, and you just put your actual ones here so that you get the accurate representation of you, and she's 50 kgs. Then we calculate. We want to know whether she is she's underweight. 17.3, so a bit far from 18. 18 is the lower limit. Anyway, we just go to the other calculator because now we know she's underweight. Now, what do? Just go to the second one, calorie calculator, and here just still go to metrics, and the same thing, 36 years. She's a female, go to 170 centimeters. For the weight, we said she's 50. And for the exercises, this is for the activity, just try to match what you usually do in a day. Like for a normal person, it will be just like exercises, like 1 to 3 times in a week, like walking, maybe going to the shop, or just some few exercises here and there. Just click on that one and just go to calculate. Now, the results that you're going to have here will just be an indication of what might happen when you use a certain number of calories. Now in this one, like if you look at this lady here, 1680 calories per day will maintain her weight, her current weight. Now if she goes below this, she's going to lose weight, but our aim here is to increase. So you go beyond 16.80 per day, and this will increase the calories. This is just the first strategy, and we're going to see some of the things that you can do to achieve this. We have 6 more, but let's first of all deal with this food, because this is not my preferred way of gaining weight, because it's not a healthy weight. If you gain fat, it's not actually that good. Now, how do you increase calories? First of all, you need to know that you need to supply your body with more than it requires. Meaning that if, for example, you usually eat, let's say, 3 mandazis in the morning, make them, let's say, 4 or 5. And you can achieve this using several ways. Like, for example, you consume more frequently in a day. And how do you achieve that? You just maybe, if you usually take breakfast and then lunch and then supper, you can include some snacking in between to increase the calories. Or you can use calorie-dense foods. Like, for example, you have nuts, groundnuts in there, we have seeds, we have avocados. They're very, very good when it comes to this. We have oils, you can even add butter, and the snacks that you're putting in between, make sure they're healthy. Like for example, you have protein bars. They're very good. They have a lot of calories. We have smoothies, and you can break the portions. Like if, for example, you're not comfortable in taking huge meals in one sitting, you can divide that into several portions, and then you just take them. You increase the frequency of eating. Or you can just sit down like a luya and make sure you down a huge big portion, and always make sure you're focusing on balanced diet all the time. What you need to do is to just increase the frequency of the portions. And always make sure that you have a lot of proteins in the diet. And for the protein dense foods, make sure you're including lean proteins like we have eggs, we have chicken, we have fish, we have legumes, we have protein shakes. And remember to mix a good portion of plant-based proteins and animal-based proteins, because they usually complement each other. For those that lack, like for example, the plant-based proteins are usually, most of them usually not complete, so they can be complemented by the animal-based proteins. Let's go to the function of the proteins. Of course, that one, you know, it's the building of the muscles, and it helps very much when it comes to weight gain. Now, healthy fats, they're very good. We have avocado, we have olive oil, we have nuts, and we have seeds. Complex carbohydrates usually take time before you deplete that. So if you take enough of it, you'll have a longer supply of carbohydrates throughout the day, because then, you know, they can take a little bit longer to be digested. So you're going to have a consistent supply of the energy providing food, so calories will be there, in as much as it's going to take a little bit longer for you to feel hungry, but they are very, very good. Anyway, whole grains are very good. Like for example, we have oats, we have brown rice, very, very good. And starchy vegetables like potatoes, we have sweet potatoes. That ones are very nice, but I like them. Yeah, sweet potatoes. Now we have smoothies and shakes, and this one is, if you remember, I usually discourage this when it comes to losing weight. Now it can do the opposite, so we can use this comfortably when you want to gain weight, because what you're going to get from them is a spike in sugar, and this will force your body to produce insulin to fight and fix the spike. And how does that happen? Forcing the cells to take the sugar which is already in the blood, and this will make you store fat, and this will what will give you the weight. Remember, you need fat in your body, because you have some hormones that will, or even some enzymes in the body that will rely on you having that. We have some body processes that will require you to have fat in the body. If you're underweight, chances are you have less of the fat, and this is what we want to increase. And I said this is actually very important, but make sure you don't get as much of it, because also fat in excess is bad, like we've been seeing when we are covering losing weight. Now back to the smoothies. You can use weight gainer shakes or homemade smoothies with the ingredients like we have whole milk. You can use protein powder or nut butter. It's actually very nice. You can use that to gain weight. Now let's go to the second strategy, and in this one, exercises and physical activity. Now the reason for this one is because of something we call hypertrophy. Now when you go to the gym, or maybe you have your own gym, or maybe you just have some things you usually use to lift, what usually happens is hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is you still have the skeletal cells, the skeletal muscle cells, and they become bulkier, they become larger, they become bigger, and they accommodate more water and a lot of other things, like they become larger. In short, that's why you gain the muscles. And this is the same reason when you stop going to the gym, you shrink, you lose your muscles. Now, building mass at this point will require you to also focus on the diet, because after the gym you need sometimes to recover, and this is when you eat proteins. They help very much when it comes to making the cells a bit more bulkier and also recovery. And for the injuries, you know, we have micro tears when it comes to your cells, and that might be taken care of by the protein that you're going to take after going to the gym, or maybe after lifting. Now to get good benefits, focus on several things. Squats, and we have deadlifts, we also have bench presses, and this will focus on compound movement. So you're going to focus, or you're going to target more than one muscle. It's very important. And also progressive overload, meaning that today maybe you are lifting, let's say 15 kgs, tomorrow, or maybe after some few, let's say reps, or maybe after a week or two, try to use something like 20, just progressively increase the load, and by doing so you will prompt your cells to catch up. Now point to note is limit excess cardio, because if you do that, if you do excess cardio, what will happen is you end up burning a lot of fat. You want to maintain as much of it as possible, probably even don't have enough of it, so you want to maintain that in addition to bulking the muscles. So limit cardio. Running on a treadmill, reduce, just do that for just some few seconds, just to keep you in the mood, and then just go lift heavy things and progressively lift heavier things, so that hypertrophy will kick in. Also, make sure you focus on recovery, like I said, because you need time for the micro tear to heal. So at that time, just provide enough calories and also proteins, because you need the amino acids. And remember, bulking up is actually very important. Now let's go to strategy number 3. This is supplementation. We have protein supplements. They're there. So many of them, you can use them to add to, we have people due to genetics and they are not able to add muscles through the normal diets. You can supplement so that you get to give your body more proteins, and this is what they are going to use. The body is going to use to build on the muscles and also to bulk up the already existing cells. So it's actually very important to have that. We have whey protein. We have casein, and we also have plant-based proteins, which you add to your smoothies. Just get your smoothie, you add some proteins there, just take that. It's a good way of gaining. Now, for the mass gainers, we have calorie-dense supplements designed to boost the body weight. And one of such is creatine. Creatine is one of the highly researched products that you can use to bulk up your muscles, and it does this by increasing the muscle mass and also water retention. It comes to individual cells, so this will help in also gaining the weight. So your muscles will make you gain more weight, and this is actually even more friendlier and actually healthier compared to exclusively increasing the calories. So you accumulate fat when you get a lot of calories, but in this one you are also bulking up the mass of the cell, which is a little bit better. But remember, like I said, you'll have to keep showing up to the gym, otherwise you end up just retaining the same weight, or maybe even go lower once the cells start losing the water, which the retention was helped by having creatine. Now, in addition or separately, you can use amino acids, and this is still a supplement. You can use it to enhance or promote muscle recovery and also growth, because amino acids will be used when it comes to, building the muscles. And another thing, which is still a supplement, you can use multivitamins. You're going to have so many vitamins put together you are given. Sometimes you're not able to gain weight because you have a deficiency when it comes to some vitamins. When you take this one, it's actually going to give you the vitamins, and we have so many brands out there. I'll try my best to put some around here so that in case maybe you're interested, you can just go and buy that, or maybe just make sure you talk to your doctor first, because I would prefer this coming from your doctor. So multivitamins will help, and this ensures that if your limitations is due to a certain deficiency, it's taken care of. Now let's go to number 4, lifestyle and habits. Establish a schedule. Make sure that a certain time, if you usually eat a certain time, make sure it's always that time. Even remember, we talked about increasing the amount that usually take in a day, or maybe frequency, to increase the calories. Also, make sure you are consistent. Make sure you have a certain set schedule. And also remember, taking water before meals, not excess. Just a tiny, like a glass of water, will make sure that your appetite is not suppressed at any point. Just in tiny bit. Don't take excess of it, because if you take a lot of water, that will now even suppress the appetite, because you're going to feel fuller. Now, sleeping and resting adequate 7 to 9 hours. This always promote the recovery and muscle growth, because you need that time. If you've been to the gym, or maybe you've been lifting heavy things, you have micro tears within your muscles, and remember, you took your protein, and you also have calories there, so you need to have enough time for that recovery. It's best provided at night when you have other hormones that are assisting in your sleep pattern, like melatonin. Very important. It will give you very, very healthy sleeps, 7 to 9 hours for muscle growth and also muscle recovery. Another one is reducing stress. Actually, it's actually very bad for those who want to gain weight, and even for those who want to lose weight. For those who want to gain weight, if you are stressed, you have people who usually have their appetites suppressed. You don't want to eat, so you end up losing a lot of weight. So and that's not what we want. Maybe it can be good, not good. I don't want to go that direction. I wanted to make a joke, and a very nasty one, so I'll skip that one. Now, strategy number 5 is medical interventions, and this one is actually very important in case nothing else is working and you really need to boost your weight. Maybe you are underweight, and being underweight can even be more dangerous than being overweight. Now, the first thing you need to know is, first of all, get to know what the underlying condition is, because sometimes it can be some underlying medical conditions, yeah, like hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism will increase metabolism, and this will in turn burn the calories that we don't need to burn, because sometimes they can burn when you don't even need to do that, because you have overproduction of the hormone that leads to so many other activities in the body, and that's where even the metabolism will go high. We also have diabetes that will affect. We have digestive disorders that can impact the weight gain. So anything underlying, your doctor will figure out, and they'll be able to fix that, because if not, you are not going to gain weight. Now, in medications, we have appetite stimulating medications like say proheptadine. This one actually was discovered as an antihistamine, but one of the side effects was boosting the appetite, and since then it's been used for improving appetite in addition to being an antihistamine. Kind of the same thing that happened to Piriton. It was an antihistamine. Actually, even now it's still an antihistamine. But then the side effect of being sleepy after taking the drug is being taken advantage of. People usually use it as a sleeping pill. Anyway, always make sure you consult with your medical provider to always make sure you're doing the right thing and you're taking the right medication, or you're using the right approach after discovering exactly what's going on. Number 6 is monitoring the progress. This is strategy number 6. Actually, what you need to do here, you'll have to be very deliberate. First thing, you remember, we talked about budgeting. You just go all the way to the first strategy. You budget using calculator.net how much of the calories you need in a day, and now you need to track how much of it you've taken in that day. And how do you do that? We have several strategies. You can use your phone. There is an app that you can use to know how much of the calories you have in a certain plate, or maybe in a certain fruit. You just have to, it's kind of like a Google Lens. You just point at the food and it tells you how much of the calories you have there. Or alternatively, for the packaged foods, at the side there is a portion where everything nutritional is indicated, so you can just look at the calories and then you track from that point, and then you make sure that you're taking above the budget that we set in strategy number 1. And also always make sure you're tracking your weight, and get a weighing scale. It's actually cheap in Kenya. I think you can get that in 2,000 Kenyan shillings. You have a weighing scale that you can just put somewhere, and you'll be weighing yourself on a daily basis, or maybe after a certain interval, to make sure that you are getting gains. Yeah. If not, then you switch the strategy. We have 6 now, so you can just pick one that will work for you, and you just make sure you are tracking the progress. And always make sure you are focusing on the muscle gain rather than just fat. If you gain only fat, that's not actually healthy. It might give you some of the things that we've seen when we are talking about losing weight, so you'd rather avoid that. So make sure you're gaining muscle and fat at the same time in a good proportion. So you now have 6 strategies that you can use, but always make sure that whatever you pick, or a combination of what you pick, is sustainable. If not, then you're not going anywhere, because if for example the method you picked is the gym, and you're very far from a place where you can acquire the gym, or maybe you don't even exercise, or maybe you need a lot of discipline, or maybe you need someone to push you around, might not be sustainable. So pick something that you enjoy doing, because this is something that you really need to do for a really long period of time. So yeah, you better pick something that you enjoy doing. Anyway, I don't have a favorite one, but I would recommend going to the gym, or maybe just lifting something heavy or exercises, because those one will give overall better health. Yeah, you know, when you exercise your muscles, so many things happen. Your heart, your lungs, your actual muscles, your blood supply, so many things get to be taken care of, instead of just sitting down and maybe taking multivitamins. Yes, it can be an indication from your doctor, but I would prefer if whatever you want to pick also include exercises, because those one will give you an overall healthier person. Now, I hope that was fun. Again, I don't want to make a threat. Make sure you subscribe. I know this can help someone that you know. Just send this to them. Just forward this to them. If you do that, one, YouTube will see that we're doing something nice, and it will just promote whatever we're doing here to more people. That's a win for me, a win for you, and also a win for the people you're going to forward this to. So yeah, see you in the next video, which I don't remember which one, but you can watch me taking rice water and lemon in one of the videos here that will appear on the screen, and just see how fun it can be just using some shortcuts that looks like a scam, but they end up being something fun. Anyway, see you in the next video.